Okay. Some technical problem. Can you
Ma'am,
hear
your
me?
voice is not coming properly. No, ma'am. Ma'am, your voice is cracking.
Network issue.
Now it's coming.
Okay.
And now it's coming.
Okay, children. So we'll start with the lesson 9 now, the second lesson of our Tuesday test. Before that, children, one important thing which I would like to tell you is we will change our pattern of presentation in the notebook a little bit. जिस तरह से हम notebook में काम करते हैं उसमें थोड़े से changes लेकर आएंगे. First page of, suppose we are starting with our lesson today. So with on the fresh page, first you will write down today's date, left hand side. Center first line will be the lesson number. Below lesson number will be the name of the lesson, but name of the lesson will be written in all capitals. All capital. You can follow calligraphy, different styles of writing. That is your presentation, but please write it in all capitals. That will be followed throughout. The name of the lesson will always be in capitals. Secondly, to underline the headings and to draw lines after answers, please use only light blue color to underline after the answers, to draw lines after the answer, only light blue color. Okay, no other colors, please. And on the
Can we
first,
use, ma'am, I have used light orange color.
sky blue color, light blue. It should be uniform in all the notebooks. Fine. And then on the very first page, we'll be making drawing related to the chapter. Maybe the summary of the chapter or what all points did we learn and that. Okay. Fine. So in this chapter, Water Watch, you will make a pictorial representation of the points that are the important points. Okay. So this Water Watch, you know, CBSE has made our chapters, our curriculum like that, where all your subjects, they are intermerged, they are interrelated. You use English while answering your SST science also. Whereas we use facts and figures and some topics of SST and science in English also. So here we will be talking about a social issue, but in the form of English literature topic. Before I start this, you tell me, you have learnt about natural resources. Can you name some of the natural resources?
Wind, water, air, trees.
Wind, water, air, trees. What is the other name given to the natural resources?
Renewable resource.
Renewable resources. With that, renewable resources, because the nature itself replenishes it again and again. But that doesn't mean they will never end. That doesn't mean we should waste them. Because these are the resources without which the life of humankind is not possible on the planet Earth. Now, in this chapter, there's a school in which a debate is going on where, we all are very educated, we are civilized, we know that wasting water is bad, but still, after knowing that wasting water is bad, we are doing it. Not everybody, I'm not generalizing, some of us are using using water very wisely, but some of us unknowingly, knowingly, we are wasting water. So the warning bells, and it has given rise to global warming. We are cutting forests recklessly. It has given rise to global warming. Rains are reducing. The water resources, they are drying up. So many things are related to it. So in this chapter, we'll be focusing on two things. First, when you are presenting your topic, how to speak when you're presenting your topic. Secondly, if the nature gives us a signal that these are the signals, now change your attitude or change yourself, or these are the things that we should do to save our planet Earth, then we should take it more seriously. Now with that, you tell me, what are the different different types of waters that we use. For example, we use river water. What else?
Rainwater.
Sorry,
underground water.
Rainwater.
rainwater.
Sometimes.
Then
Ma'am,
mineral water is
ma'am,
also correct, Vishruth. Mineral water is also correct. Bottled water,
groundwater.
groundwater. And now initially when the agriculture, because most of the farmers, they are depending on the underground water. They are digging out those that water through bore wells, and they are using it to irrigate their fields. But with the passage of time, reduction in the rainfall, increased use of the bore wells, the underground water is also drying up. So just think of a situation where the farmers, they are not able to produce, the harvest. Where will you get the food grains from? And if we'll not get the food grains, Vishruth, where are you attending your class? Vishruth, where are you attending your class?
Ma'am, I'm attending on laptop.
So why are you using phone right now?
I'm on laptop.
Why are you using
Ma'am,
phone right
Daksh wants like the Ma'am, Daksh
No, I
wants
want
the
the
work of
photo.
chapter 8, the night angle and the glowworm.
What?
That photo.
I didn't understand. Vishruth, I didn't understand. Come again.
Ma'am, Daksh Mehrotra from our class. Ma'am, Daksh Mehrotra from our class wants this chapter 8, this one.
Do it later.
The night angle and the
Do it
glowworm.
later, Vishruth.
Okay. Okay.
So here on the first page of your lesson, children, you will be making different containers. It is written, no, imagine, if you open your books on page number 73, it is written, draw containers of different shapes and sizes for storing water. Give each of these containers an interesting name. And you will use your creativity to name these containers. Okay. Let's see who come out with creative names. Fine. Make the first page very nice, colorful, and catchy. You got it?
And what are we doing?
We have started with our lesson 9, and I'm telling you the instructions. I'm giving you the instructions how to start with your work on a fresh page. I'm repeating it again, then I'll not repeat. A date in the center, lesson number. Below lesson number, you will write the lesson name, all capitals. Calligraphy depends on you. Why Mitarth is not in our class, right?
Excuse me, ma'am.
Pratishtha is also not in our class.
Ma'am,
Excuse me,
C
ma'am.
section is joined.
How come C section is there in my
Excuse
section?
me, ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, your link is sent in 8C.
8A,
Ma'am, your
right?
link is sent on 8C group.
Don't tell me.
No,
Ma'am, it is shared on 8C.
I guess you shared the link on the both of the groups.
Did I?
Ma'am, you didn't share it on 8C. Someone else shared.
I did not.
Yes, ma'am.
8C has already read this chapter. Why 8C is coming? Okay, it's good that 8C is also here. So I'll have a good class now. Okay.
Ma'am, it's your arrangement.
It's my arrangement?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did I get
Yes,
the
ma'am.
arrangement? Students, you are telling me that it's my arrangement. I did not get the message. It's my arrangement.
Ma'am, the arrangement that you don't know.
That is good one, Vishruth. Okay, anyways, children, we'll not waste time. Fine. So, since 8C has also joined the class, children, I was telling how to start your chapter. I'm telling it very quick now. Okay. First page of your lesson, the notebook, you will start with date on the left hand side. On the very center line, in the first line center, you will write the lesson number. Below lesson number, you will write down the name of the lesson in capitals, calligraphy, up to you. And below that, you will make your third part, the page number 73, the third one. Draw containers of different shapes and sizes for storing water. Give each of these containers an interesting name. So the first page of your lesson 9 in your notebooks will be very colorful, nice, catchy. But after that, to underline the headings, to draw lines after every answer, use only light blue color only. Only highlighted, underlined.
Ma'am, can you please repeat?
Mitat, when we will start our chapter in the notebook, we have changed the pattern a little bit. First page of the notebook for the new chapter will have lesson number, name of the lesson, and the drawing related to that chapter. The name of the lesson will be written in all capitals in your style, calligraphy, up to you. For Water Watch chapter, I have given you to draw containers of different shapes and sizes for storing water. Give each of these containers an interesting name. It is given on page number 73. Imagine. So you will imagine, you will draw different containers and you give them catchy names. Okay. And after that, we'll start off with the exercises of the chapter. Headings will be underlined with light blue color, pencil color, sketch color, your choice, but only light blue color. I'm clear? Lines after answers also light blue color. Now, I think 8C has already read this chapter. So I'm paying more attention towards 8A, Water Watch. Here, we'll be reading about a chapter of the school, Nalanda Senior Secondary School, where a debate is going on, and the debate is about the proper use of water. And I hope it's a debate. No, it's not debate. It's elocution competition, where you have to present your thoughts. So, you know, children, whenever you have taken part in any of the competition, initially we are a little jittery, we are a little nervous, but once you stand on the podium, on the dais, and you start off, then you forget about everything. Then you focus on your topic, on your thoughts, on your views that you want to share with the audience. This confidence comes only with the proper preparations that you do before the competition and the hard work, practice that you put in before going for any competition. So here, the main character of this, Deepak, he has also participated in the elocution competition and he has prepared wonderfully for his competition. But then also he's little nervous. You know, it is always good. Ducks don't do that. You can leave the class if you want to do like that. So here, even he has prepared very nicely for the competition, but he's a little nervous. Little nervousness is always good. It does not let you get overconfident. So we'll go one by one. Who will read? 8A. Who will read?
Yeah. Ma'am, can I?
Yes, Shraddha.
Ma'am, I, Vishruth.
Okay, Vishruth. Vishruth, Shraddha, you will read after Vishruth. Okay. Vishruth, first you sit straight. Where's your chair? Why are you sitting on the bed and lying down? And we cannot see your face now. We can see the pillow.
Ma'am, guests are there in the
But sit
room.
straight, beta. Sit straight, please. Crisscross your legs and sit straight. Now read.
The auditorium of Nalanda Senior School was packed. It was the day of the annual elocution competition between class 8th and class 9th. No outsiders were allowed. The principal was in the chair and Sunita Jain, who taught English to class 10th, was on the microphone.
Continue.
Seated in the third row, Deepak heard the announcement. It said, we now invite Deepak Mehra of class 9th B to come and tell us what he thinks is the biggest problem that our country will have to face in the year to come. Deepak stood up and his legs were ever so slightly shaky. He prepared his talk truly and all
Thoroughly.
his arguments were in place.
He prepared his talk thoroughly.
and all his arguments were in place. He had also paid due attention what the earlier speaker had said, and he remembered his elocution. Teacher guiding rule: always maintain eye
Elocution.
contact with
It is Ellie. It is not Elo. Ellie. Yes.
elocution. Teacher guiding rule: always maintain eye contact with your audience. Never talk to the walls. Till Deepak felt a wee bit nervous after all. It was no cakewalk, this business of public speaking.
Okay. So now, children, there's a competition in the school. Which two classes were involved? Class 8th and class 8th and
Ninth.
class 9th.
Ninth.
And no outsiders were invited in this
Allowed.
performance. And the way you have your performances in the lecture room, you have the judges, principal ma'am is there, director sir is there, so many people are there. Some children are very confident when they speak, but some find it little difficult. You know, it because it is not everybody's cup of tea. It is not easy for everybody to come up. They might be very good when they are doing it all by themselves, maybe at home, they are very good. But it is very difficult for some of the children to come up and speak in front of everyone. You need to have that confidence, you need to have that presentation to present yourself in front of the people. So here the teacher has given some golden rules that when you're speaking in front of so many people, always maintain an eye contact. You know, when you're talking, see, if I'm talking to you people, I'm looking at the walls, you will be disinterested to what ma'am is saying. Similarly, when you are speaking to me or to your friends, you look at them directly. You don't look at the walls. You don't look here and there, right? So when we are presenting our views, first is we should be very, very clear of what we are speaking. Prepare it thoroughly. Maintain direct eye contact with your audience. Your audience may be the children who are sitting in front of you. And little nervousness is always good, but you should always take deep breath when you are feeling little nervous, because it will help you to calm down. Because once you get started, then you forget all your nervousness. And one more thing I'll tell you, children, when you are when you're speaking publicly, you will have different kinds of people sitting as your audience, sitting in the audience. Some will smile, some will try to make you laugh, and if you focus on all those people, you will forget your views. So out of all those people sitting in front of you, find some very friendly faces who are actually listening to what you are saying. They are paying attention to what you are saying. They are not smiling, they are not laughing. Because once you recognize those faces, you can speak, look at them and speak. Nobody in the audience can know that are you looking at them or not, but you know that whom are you looking at. So always pinpoint those
Excuse me,
friendly faces. Yes, bache.
Yes, ma'am, I was asking for class 8C when we will be writing the chapter's name. Ma'am, one whole page will be there. On the one whole page, we have to write the chapter's name on like
No. Chapters now, chapter number and name will be in the first 2-3 lines only. The rest page you will use to do imagine. Page number 73, there's
Okay,
an
ma'am.
imagine given. So we will use pictorial representation. Every time it will be different for all the chapters. For this chapter, it is this question which is given in imagine.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Now next, yes, Shraddha, we'll start.
Yes, ma'am. Deepak climbed the 5 steps to the top of the dais, stood before the microphone and held it with one hand. The auditorium was like a sea of heads. Suddenly his self-confidence shrugged and he heard himself saying
Shraddha,
in a
sorry
clear,
to interrupt you, Shraddha. The rest of the children, why are your cameras off? It is. It seems as if I'm talking to the names. Continue, Shraddha.
and he heard himself saying in a clear, well modulated Friends, I shall begin my talk with a little story. Only. It is not a story, but something that really happened.
Okay.
Deepak drew.
Okay, Shraddha, I'll just pause for a second. Well modulated voices. Children, when you're speaking, even when you're reading the lesson, if you are asking a question, it should look like you are asking a question. You cannot read it plain in a normal tone. Suppose if I ask you, how are you? I'll not say, how are you? The question will be like that. If you are giving a warning, you're stressing on something, you have to change the tone of your voice, the frequency of the voice, the throw of your voice. That is called modulation. Fine, high pitch, low pitch, where to stop, where to stress. And then we have whenever you are delivering a speech or any topic, always start with a catchy start. Catchy means you have to get the audience interested in what you are speaking. Once you get the attention of the audience, then it is easy to convey your message, because then they'll listen to you. You can start with a story. You can start with some headlines from the newspapers. You can start with a slogan, some Sanskrit shlok, something. Rather than saying, good morning, I'm so and so, and I'm standing in front of you to speak on the topic. It's so monotonous, no? Start with a catchy topic. And then the audience will also listen to you. Right? Yes, continue, Shraddha.
Yes. Deepak drew a deep breath and begins. In Jalawar, Rajasthan, there stands the all but forgotten fortress of
Garao. AG is silent. A and G is silent. First G and RON. Garao.
Fortress of Garan, built in the 11th century. The fortress spans an outcrop of rock near Kota and is circled by the rivers Kali Sindh and Ahu. Right through medieval times, Garan was known to be invincible, but the source of its strength was. Now, what's this written?
Invincible, but the source of its strength was shrouded.
Source of its strength was shrouded in mystery, but the answer can be found in a legend. It seems that there was a secret tunnel that took off from somewhere at the base of the fortress. This tunnel inched its way through the heart of the rocks to meet the river Ahu, thus ensuring a steady supply of water for the garrison. The fortress was ultimately conquered by
Conquered by
Mahmud Khilji. Conquered by Mahmud Khilji, the governor of Malwa. But how? His commander spotted a soldier of the Garan garrison on the banks of Garon garrison on the banks of Ahu. They trailed the man and discovered the tunnel. By blocking the water supply, they finally brought the defender of Garon to their knees.
Okay, so now here, the story that Deepak has narrated, it is not a fictional story. It was a real story of a village in Rajasthan, Jalawar. And there's a fortress there, which is which was renowned and very famous for its strength and prosperity. But nobody knew the secret of its strength and prosperity. And that is why it is written that its strength was shrouded in mystery. Shrouded means covered, hidden, concealed. Nobody was aware of the strength. But the answer was can be found in a legend. Here a legend means it's a story. In some of the scriptures or the books, it is written that when one of the soldier, he came out, there's a connecting tunnels to the source of the river, which takes this water to the center of the city, to the garrison. Garrison means it's a place where all the troops, soldiers, they reside, they live. So, even when all the sources were cut, they have the secret tunnel from which the continuous supply of water was maintained. But when the soldiers of Mahmud Khilji, they noticed this, one of the soldiers, and they followed him, and they eventually came to know about the secret tunnel, and they cut the supply of the water, which eventually led to the downfall of the fortress of this empire. So this tells you, okay, what happened? You tell me why. What happened when they cut the supply of the water?
Then there will be no, then like they will be very thirsty and they will not have water, and the
Yes.
and a person can't live without water more than a week.
Bilkul. So children, if we tell you study and do your work, we don't give you the lunch break, then maybe eventually in the 5th and 6th period, you'll give up. You'll feel you'll feel angry, irritated. Think of if you have to stay like that for 2-3 days. You will give up, your energy will be exhausted. How will you fight with the enemies? Similarly, the same happened here. When the supply was cut off, the soldiers, they gave up, they surrendered, and the empire was brought to its knees. Brought to its knees means it was defeated. At this point, a burst of applause forced Deepak to stop. When you say a very good point or the audience likes your point, they give you applause. They recognize your that point and give you applaud for that. But when you're speaking, you can pause for 1 to 2 seconds, not more than that. Then it will be taken as a negative marking. When the applause had died down, he resumed his talk. Yes, people couldn't do without water then, and they cannot do without water now. This is an important point, that it doesn't matter which era we are living in. Water was important then also, it is important in the present time also, and it will be important in the future times to come. Those in the Garand fort were destroyed by the lack of water, and we too could meet the same fate. As I see it, the biggest problem that our country will have to face in the years to come will be quite simply water shortage. In fact, some political thinkers and economists are of the opinion that World War III is going to be fought over water. There were reasons for World War I and World War II, expansion of your territories or to encroach the other lands, various things. But most of the political leaders now are in of this notion that water will become so precious, so rare, that Third World War will be for water. It shows the gravity of the situation. Deepak's audience seemed to be in total agreement with him. Total agreement with him means they approved his point. Down the row in the auditorium, many heads nodded in agreement. Deepak dropped his voice and delivered the most significant remark of his talk. The warning bells are ringing. Warning bells are ringing means the nature is giving us warning. He's warning us. There's
He's
this
giving
word,
us signs.
time also, and there is one more word. What is it? Making us aware that you take precautions, you take the steps to save water, otherwise be ready to meet the dreaded fate of yours. So said Deepak to his stunned, surprised audience. In fact, they have been warning us for quite some time now. The water table has dropped greatly in Punjab and Haryana. Our grain belt farmers have always relied on bore wells to irrigate their fields, but recently they have been forced to dig 50 feet deeper than ever before to reach the water table. In 2 decades from now, it will be beyond the means of most farmers to pump up enough water for their needs. There is reduction in the rainfall. Water in the water table has gone down. So how will the farmers do farming? No farming means no crops. And without grains, how will we survive? There was dead silence in the auditorium. Deepak went on. The media regularly bring us pictures of parched fields. Parched means dried fields, and poor farmers, head between hands, crushed in despair. That means devastated, destroyed. Because they all take loans, and when their harvest is good, they give it back. But then if the harvest is not good, then they already are, they are poor, they don't have enough money to pay off their loans. So they find only one solution, and that is suicide. So that is where the government comes in picture. That's a different issue. But here, what once used to be fertile and farmers' suicides are always in the news. This year, the winter rains failed. They may fail again and yet again. Even in places like Uttarakhand, which used to replete with natural resources of water, many springs have dried up and the rivers are shrinking. Our cities are constantly witness to heated arguments, even fights over water. While the underlying causes of water shortage are too many and too complex to be discussed here, there is much that we can still do to stave off the specter of water famine. Now, here he is saying that there are so many arguments which are given by everybody. Everybody knows what are the causes, how can we save water, and still it is not late. If we start doing our responsibilities, we start taking our responsibilities seriously, still we can save our planet Earth from extinction. Deepak glanced at his watch. Of the 4 minutes allotted to him, 3 were already up. He was wondering whether he should wrap up his talk or not, when there was another announcement over the mic. It was the principal herself. "My apologies to Deepak for interrupting his talk," said she. "But I had to say this, friends. I know you will all agree that Deepak's talk has been one of the most interesting that we ever heard. But before Deepak clinches his argument, that means conclude his argument, I would like to hear the views of some members of the audience so that we know what they even have been thinking independently. Let's see what you feel about this problem of water shortage. I request 3 boys to share their views, one in a minute." So Kumar of class 8th was the first to speak. He began, "I know there's a shortage of water because in summer my mother allows me only half a bucket for bath. I save some of that water and drizzle it over my dog, who is extremely bothered by heat." There was a general titter over this, while the others titter means a short laugh. While the other speaker, Arvind Joshi of 9C, stood up. "This year, the winter rains have failed and the cereal crops have suffered," said Joshi. "There is talk of importing cereals, but prices are soaring because of the increasing demand and insufficient supply. The only way to break up the vicious cycle is to be self-sufficient." So here he is just saying, because there are so many things. One is giving the reason how to use water nicely, judicially, wisely, whereas the other one is giving the repercussions of reduction in water table. That because of reduce in water in rainfall and reduction in water table, the harvest, the production has reduced. Because of the production, we have to import the things from the other countries. Because of that, the prices have increased and people are not equipped enough, are not well sufficient, are not well, sufficient enough to buy those high priced products. At the back of the auditorium, hand shot up and Bharat Vajpayee of 8D sprang on his feet. "Enough water for all our needs is a taller order. To meet it, we must modify our needs. I believe there is an urgent need to control the supply of available water." That's the, what happens when mothers are very well versed with this, how to use the resources very wisely. So here in the last argument, even the student has said that enough of, we should do this, we should do that. Now it's the high time that whatever is available to us, at least save that. Whatever is available to us, supply only that much that is required. Rest, because there are some people who are just wasting it unnecessarily. We can conserve it and we can supply it to the other section of the society where it is actually required. Loud applause greeted the views expressed. The principal smiled and took the mic again. "I'm very happy to note that you are trying to think independently about this problem that affects all of us. Deepak Mehra, please proceed with your talk. You have another minute." Deepak smiled and bowed his head in response. He said, "Bharat Vajpayee has hit the nail on the head." That means he has said a very correct, exact point that he will elaborate. "There is an urgent need to streamline our requirement of water as also to control the availability, supply of water. We must make sufficient use of water and not, I repeat, not waste any. This this is done when you are very close to your examinations. You have only suppose 1.5 day. You have 5-6 topics to study. How do? You plan that. Whatever time is left, you devote that time according to the topic. You do it, right? Similarly, that is required to be done for the water also, that whatever is required for the people, only that much should be given and the rest should be saved for future use. Good. Applause again. Deepak took up the thread once more. Things must start at a very basic level. I vote we launch a society named Water Watch. With our principal's permission, we can meet here after school on Fridays and draw up a program of action. I shall be here to welcome everyone who decides to come. Thank you very much. No sooner had Deepak finished and taken his seat, and the auditorium broke into thunderous applause. If it were not for the presence of the principal and teachers, the dais would have witnessed a near stampede of boys wishing to enroll as members of the Water Watch. P.S. The society named Water Watch is flourishing and doing very good work through its individual members. And oh, by the way, so it's just that he became the winner of the program. But children, we as individuals, we can also do a lot to save water. Water which is left in your water bottles, use that to water the plants. You can use that to give it to the birds in their containers, or you can use the water in the kitchen used for washing vegetables, fruits, for gardening. There are so many things you are already aware. You have read it in science. The point is, only reading is not sufficient. Please try to bring that in your day-to-day routine. Every action counts. Okay, interesting chapter. Please make the first page of your notebook very colorful and nice. Do your work and do share the pictures. Okay. You don't have to write the question, Vishruth.